Yule anataka kupigana na mimi, karibuni tupigane. It's okay. Karibuni tupigane. Si ndio?
Kwa sababu nimeona vile mazungumzo yanaendelea, vile naibu rais wetu Rigathi Gachagua ambaye ni mdosi yangu ameanza kuzungumza lugha ambaye inakinzana na lugha ya watu kama kina Jeremiah Kioni, watu kama Eugene Wamalwa na watu kama Raila Odinga. Sisi kwa serikali yetu hii ya Kenya Kwanza tulinasa Raila Odinga ako upande yetu, tunapeleka yeye AU akuwe chairman. Na ni kama Jaka hawa ni kama pia hao wamenasa Rigiji. Nimeona lugha ya Rigiji akiongea ni kama hao pia wamemnasa. Siasa inakuwa namna hiyo, unanasa wawili, mmoja wenu ananaswa. Na respectively, I have the privilege ya kuwa na rais wetu William Ruto kuanzia mwaka wa 2017 mpaka sasa. Respectively na heshima kubwa, nataka nimkumbushe naibu rais kwamba wakati tuliunda hii chama ya UDA, wakati ilifika wakati ya kutafuta naibu rais running mate ya Mheshimiwa William Samoei Ruto, nilikuwa baadhi ya wale watu ambao tulifanya mkutano tukiongozwa na naibu wa rais wakati ule ambaye ni rais wa sasa. Tukasema viongozi wote wa mkoa wakati ule wa zamani from Central Province, wale ambao wamechaguliwa, tukawaambia waende wajifungie mahali, tukawapatia room kwamba wafanye mazungumzo, wapike kura na watuletee jina ya mtu mmoja ambaye ndiye angekuwa deputy president ama running mate wa William Samoei Ruto. Hawa walienda wakakaa, wabunge na viongozi na maseneta na wa magavana walikuwa watu zaidi ya 50 kwenda kufanya kikao wamchague yule ambaye wangependelea kuwa running mate wa William Samoei Ruto. Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua alipata kura moja. Sisi na kwanza mimi naomba mimi mwenyewe nikiwemo Oscar Sudi, Ndindi Nyoro, Faruk Kibet, tuko na kazi kubwa ya kuomba msamaha wale viongozi wote wale wa Central ambao walipatia Rigiji kura moja. Sisi tukaona huyo tu ndiye anafaa, na William Ruto akakuwa muungwana akadefy vile hao walikuwa wamechagua Abraham Professor.
Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. As always, I want to thank you for taking your time to be part of our show. We are being treated to a free movie, the UDA movie, because the political altercation between President William Samoei Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua is not ending any soon. But maybe let me pause and ask you this question. How many of you still believe that the differences between these two leaders are merely choreographed to ensure that Kenyans don't discuss the real matters that are bedeviling this government, like the finance bill? Because I've had that discussion that maybe this is just yet another plan to hoodwink Kenyans to forget about the real elephant in the room. If you ask me, I believe the differences between Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto are very real. When it started, Rigathi Gachagua was a little bit passive. But the day Rigathi Gachagua endorsed the call for one man, one vote, one shilling, it is like he crossed the red line. And people like Kimani Chungwa, Ndindi Nyoro, and Anne Waiguru have always told him off about the calls for this one man, one shilling, one vote, and calls to unite Mount Kenya. And they're telling Rigathi Gachagua that we need to unite the whole country, not part of your tribesmen. And I remember Kimani Chungwa was telling him in parliament that we cannot have a leader who is still thinking of village politics. He's storming Gachagua's calls for Mount Kenya, unity call as a village, a kind of village thinking. But what shocked me is that the highest ranking members of the cabinet have now joined the calls to tell off Rigathi Gachagua on his unity call, on his one man, one shilling, one vote. Just the other day, the Chief Cabinet Secretary, Mudavadi, was telling the nation that President Ruto has got quite a lot to do. He has been tasked by, with this responsibility of ensuring that we have peace in our neighborhoods. Yet in his own backyard, we still have leaders who are calling for, one man, one shilling, one vote, and unity of a particular region. And then today, in a tweet that has gone viral and many of you have seen, Kithure Kindiki, a man who is always very, very non-controversial, very polite, the way he conducts his business is that he sticks to running his docket. But he broke his silence and he talked about this issue about one man, one shilling, one vote. And this is what Kithure is saying, for those who have not seen it, that proponents of the one man, one vote, one shilling mantra neither understands its implications for Kenyans' future, nor do they fathom its long-term impact on the parts of Kenya they purport will benefit from it. And he goes ahead to say that the cliche is neither a scientific principle nor is it an economic model of any kind. It is a mantra picked from casual banter and will fall flat when juxtaposed with the constitutional ideals and values upon which our nation is founded. Then he finishes by saying that every part of Kenya is entitled to prosperity, not alone or at the expense of any other part of Kenya, but rather as part of the whole. The destiny and success of Kenya is inextricably linked to the destiny and success of each part of Kenya. One nation, one flag, one people. So according to Kithure Kindiki, the calls for a particular region to unite, the calls for one man, one shilling, one vote is neither here nor there. But people have been trying to figure out why Kithure Kindiki. Kithure Kindiki and also the Chief Cabinet Secretary, Musalia Mudavadi, are almost the very few high-ranking members in the cabinet who are always very polite. They're non-controversial. And when you see them speak, then there's a reason for it. So if you listen to Didmus Baraza, you'll realize that the thoughts and feelings among the Ruto side is that they did Rigathi Gachagua a favor. That is what they mean, because they keep on telling Rigathi that he was not the first choice. Kithure Kindiki was the first choice. But the question that one would ask, if William Ruto was told very well that we have voted, we have locked up ourselves in a room, we have voted and we have given you none other than Abraham Kithure Kindiki, why did William Ruto decide to give it to Rigathi Gachagua? It means Rigathi was very important then, because if Kithure Kindiki was the man, why couldn't he choose him? And therefore this thing of telling Rigathi Gachagua that we did you a favor is not there. That is the truth. If you believe that Kithure Kindiki was, more popular in terms of maybe the way he was doing mobilization, maybe campaign money, they considered quite a lot. And William Ruto himself was now given the privilege. These are the people, because the list had Kithure, we had Gachagua, we had Wahome, and Waiguru, and Ndindi Nyoro, the five of them. They considered each and every aspect of the campaigns and the circumstances that surrounded it all. They came up with Rigathi Gachagua. So you cannot tell Rigathi that there was a favor that was done. It wasn't a favor. Rigathi on his side has continued to say that through his spokesperson, the Nyeri governor, Kahiga, that we gave William Ruto 3 million votes, and therefore Rigathi must be respected because he is the one who championed that cause. But then, if you see Musalia Mudavadi and Kithure Kindiki attacking Rigathi Gachagua, then you know it is an all-out war. Daggers have been drawn, battle lines have been drawn, and there is nothing that is left. In fact, the only thing that is remaining is Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua going at each other openly. They still speak through proxies, they still speak through proverbs. Imebaki tu kidogo, and they will go for each other's neck. I believe that it is scaring William Ruto that Mount Kenya can unite together. The unity calls are scaring, because if it was something trivial, they wouldn't have been speaking about it. But for him to charge his highest ranking members to start speaking about it, especially those who are not known to be controversial, then you know he's scared about the unity call. The day Rigathi Gachagua unites Mount Kenya, it will be a done deal to William Samoei Ruto, because Rigathi has said, let them unite behind me. You go to Central, you have to go through Rigathi Gachagua. So we just wait and see what will happen. And William Ruto is trying to show the whole nation that as they try to embark on uniting the whole country, Rigathi Gachagua is isolating himself. He's isolating his tribesmen. He's isolating Mount Kenya. But Rigathi maintains that we come from certain communities and we have to unite as communities before we go and unite as Kenya. And let me tell you something. We want to pretend. Even William Ruto is pretending. Our culture, our political culture has always been based on ethnicity. William Ruto will still run to his members of the community in Rift Valley and calls himself a kingpin. That is why when during the UDA nominations, those who are not supporting William Ruto, even though they won in their several constituencies, they were never given the UDA tickets. Why? They were going against William Samoei Ruto. Each of them, Raila first becomes a kingpin in Nyanza. Charity begins at home. So even if William Ruto wants to pretend, we have an ethnic-based kind of politics. It has to start with you. And why? We cannot accept you if your family, if your people do not accept you. So you have to start from there, then you spread. And William Ruto is trying to isolate Rigathi Gachagua. He's also trying to show Rigathi Gachagua that you're not the one, you're not the only one. You play around, I have people who can take care of it. I have Kithure Kindiki, I have Musalia Mudavadi. And I think he's invoking that the emotions. You remember after they had voted and Kithure Kindiki was denied that chance, Kithure said, I have to take a sabbatical leave from politics. It took the intervention of William Ruto and Wazes. They talked to him politely for him even to accept coming back to accept the position of the Interior Cabinet Secretary. And of course, he was given that to appease him, the members of his family and the members of their community. You remember William Ruto went and begged the constituents of Kithure Kindiki, give me this money, it's going to help me at the national level. So he knows very well that when Kithure Kindiki is reminded of what happened, then he will explode. And that's why Kithure Kindiki exploded. Didmus Baraza is busy telling us that Kithure should not even ache kusumbua watu, hakuchaguliwa. But then Rigathi knows very well the part that he played for William Samoei Ruto. We wait and see, because we are waiting for each and episode of the movie that is the UDA. I don't know what to think, but that is my take.